Hello everyone, my name is Michael K and welcome to a Replica Airguns video. So what's better than one mini Uzi? Well, I'm going to go with two mini Uzis, at least in this situation. And that's what I have for you here today. What looks like almost two identical mini Uzis. Now there are some differences, and the main differences are one is an Airsoft and one is a 4.5mm steel BB version. One is from Cybergun and one is from KWC. Now you're going to find that they're both made pretty much in the same manner. They use the same materials. There's just a few differences, so let's go over what these differences are. Now on the bottom here we have the Cybergun, a 4.5mm steel BB version, and on the top we have the KWC 6mm plastic Airsoft BB version. So the differences are in the Airsoft version, because it's using a different magazine, and I will show you the magazines and explain it further. But we have a 38 round magazine. In the Airsoft version it is double stacked. On the 4.5mm steel BB version we have a 25 round magazine. So the magazines again are different, and I'll show them to you and explain a few differences once I pull them out. Now out of the box, the steel BB version shoots in semi-auto only, but there is a mod, and I'll put the link to that modification video right here for you. And essentially the only real difference is, and I have to flip them around to show you, but on the other side of these guns is a selector switch, and you basically have safe, semi-auto, and full auto. On the 4.5mm steel BB version, there's a little plastic nub inside the gun that stops it from going into full auto. Internally the mechanics are ready to shoot full auto. The switch just does not go to that position because of the plastic nub inside. Now the Airsoft version here, the KWC Airsoft version, is ready to go out of the box to shoot full auto. Now again, being that one is KWC at the top and one is Cybergun, there's some cosmetic differences. Typically KWC, so the Airsoft version, tends to be unlicensed, so you won't find the UZI markings on it. Not a lot of markings on this gun, and they're not obvious, so that's not a really big deal. Typically Cybergun goes with the branding and the licensing, and that's true in this case as well. Now keep in mind, both of these guns are made in the same factory, and they're really both made by KWC. They're just branded and licensed a bit differently when they're the Cybergun version. Now the KWC version does come with this nice handy speed loader, and that'll load her up really nice and quick. It will take a little longer to load the 4.5mm steel BB version for sure. In terms of feet per second, and I will be doing a chronograph and shooting test for both of these guns in my part 2 of this comparison video between the Airsoft KWC version and the steel BB Cybergun version. We'll call this a comparison review, and this is part 1. So getting back to the feet per second, 400 feet per second claimed, roughly, just under, and just under 350 feet per second for the steel BB version. Both of these guns weigh almost 5 pounds, very close. They both use CO2, not green gas, and they're both made identically, with both of them being constructed primarily of metal with some cosmetic plastic parts, being the grips, and I'll show you this kind of quickly, and this sort of outer shell. There's like a wraparound shell, and it's not that much that goes around the outside of the body, and you can kind of see it here. It's plastic right there, and then metal inside. Same here. Plastic on the outside, metal on the inside. All of this is metal. Internally, all of it's metal. The trigger's metal. The stock, folding stock, is metal. The magazine is metal. So let's get into the magazines real quick, because I want to talk about that before I forget. And so they really look a lot the same, especially from the back and especially from the sides. Okay, they have the markings on them, you can see there, ammo load. You'll notice the V2 on the Airsoft version, and you'll see here, same CO2 screws. Now when we move around to the front, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. You can see the wider track. It's a double stack track on the plastic BB Airsoft version. That's going to allow you more BBs, even though they're larger in diameter. And you'll also notice here on the front, this little tab here, what it does is it allows, it's basically a follower, and what that follower does is it locks the bolt from coming forward on the last shot. And you'll notice that that doesn't exist on the BB version, only on the Airsoft. So that locks the bolt from coming all the way forward, and knocking off another shot. So especially when you're in full auto and you're firing, this will indicate, the airsoft version will indicate and lock the bolt back. Not all the way back, it just stops it from coming all the way forward so that you know that you're out of ammo. On the BB version, that doesn't happen. It's not a V2. I don't believe there is a V2 version for 4.5mm steel BB versions. I haven't seen one yet anyways. So I'll show you the differences. Watch what's going to happen. Locks partially back. When you compare that without a magazine in it, except for it's got a magazine stop. Let me try that again. There you go. So you'll see here, it goes all the way forward. Now comparatively, okay, try that again. I don't know how to jam for some reason. Anyway, steel BB version goes all the way forward. And the same, obviously. Okay, so you'll see that when you're shooting with the steel BB version, you're going to continue firing and you're not going to know, except for maybe by the tone. There's usually a slightly different tone when you're out of BBs, and that's the only way you're going to know. But you're going to fire off probably 3 or 4 shots before you realize it, and you're theoretically going to waste some CO2. So especially you know, if you're shooting back-to-back magazines, you're going to probably really benefit from having that follower on the airsoft version that indicates that the magazine is empty and stops the gun from shooting. So let's take a quick look, and I'll sort of show you this branding that we're talking about here. This is the Cybergun 4.5mm steel BB version. You'll see mini UZI, see caliber, semi-auto, IWI. You'll see both of the guns have this warning instruction in the bottom. It's nice that it's not white. It's not really blaringly obvious. Same markings for your, and you'll notice here, this has been modified, so safe, semi, and full. Normally you wouldn't be able to get into the full auto feature there. Okay. By the way, this is for hop up, and you can adjust this for hop up, and there's hop up on both of these guns. By the way, we have your bolt. Notice that this wants to be out, stuck for some reason. Weird. My gun is jammed. Not really sure why. Oh, you know what? It's when it's in safe. I can't pull it back. I've never noticed that. You learn something every day. Wants to be in, okay, that's alright. Doesn't want to rack when it's in safe. So let's take a look at this side here. And by the way, this is an all metal folding stock, which is cool. Nice heavy gun. Nice heavy bolt. If you haven't watched my reviews, I've got several shooting reviews for this gun where I actually do my tabletop review of it. I do my field test review. I do chronograph review, and I also shoot it alongside my Russian T-Rex full auto BB machine gun. So I do dual wielding machine guns. So watch those videos. I'll put links in there for you. Alright. Now look here, there's no markings here, but on the KWC version there is, too many guns on the table, there is a made in Taiwan there. So and you'll notice here, still have your warning instructions on both. Everything's really almost identical. Okay, again, this is an out of the box and it's ready to go into full auto. Okay, you have to kind of use 2 fingers because it just wants to snap all the way over. KWC, see how it's different, doesn't say mini UZI. Really, that's the only place that you're going to see that, so it's not a huge deal. The branding side of things is not a huge deal. You have your straps, clips here, front and back. There's one on the front too. There it is. Okay, so you can put a strap on this gun. Nice. And you could put a barrel laser on these guns as well, if you wanted to do that. Alright, so in a nutshell, we are going to be doing part 2 where I'm going to test these guns out, see if there's really much of a difference in terms of velocity and accuracy. Now in terms of which one is better, I think it really depends what you're using it for. Again, if you haven't watched my BB gun versus airsoft gun video, watch that video because we talk a lot about the differences between airsoft and BB, and I like them both. I don't have a problem with either one. I think they both have their uses. Obviously you're not going to want to use steel BBs in an airsoft battle, and if you want that little bit of extra knockdown power, you're going to want to use the steel BBs because they tend to carry their energy further out with more accuracy. Alright, I want to thank you again for watching another Replica Airguns video. Now, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this. I am going to be shooting the field test really quickly here, so I may bundle these videos together with my post on my website and have both videos linked to the one post. But I will separate them into two videos on YouTube so you can watch them independently. So make sure to watch out that field test video, part 2 of this KWC Cybergun Mini Uzi comparison review. And again, don't forget to watch the other tabletop field test reviews for the Mini Uzi that I've already done. The 4.5mm steel BB version, that is. Again, make sure to subscribe before you head out. Check us out at replicaAirguns.com, where we have our US and Canada stores. We have many items available for you there, including these guns. Lots of other items. Airsoft, BB, blank, accessories. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Thanks again for watching another Replica Airguns video. Until next time, take care.